FM. I am Kedanojo Okoliko. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC, Professor Nentawe Iwata, alongside the governor of Kano State, Abba Kabir Yusuf, and other party leaders have paid a private visit to Bauchi State Governor Bala Muhammad. The delegation held a closed-door meeting with the governor of the government house at the government house in Bauchi. Although details of the meeting were not officially disclosed, sources indicated that discussions may not be unconnected with ongoing political realignments ahead of the 2027 general elections. The visit comes barely 24 hours after Governor Bala Muhammad received national leaders of the African Democratic Congress ADC in Bauchi, where reports suggest the governor expressed interest in the party. Governor Mohammed is one of the two governors left in the PDP, but this faction is currently playing catch-up with a Wike-backed PDP, which recently held a national convention after securing major court victories, affirming its legitimacy in the party's ongoing leadership dispute. Meanwhile, a high court of the Federal Capital Territory, Maitama, has lifted the bench warrant earlier issued against Kabir Turaki over his alleged failure to appear in court. The decision was delivered today by Justice Peter Kekemeke after the defendant appeared voluntarily before the court. The bench warrant was set aside following an oral application by his counsel, Chris Uche, which was not opposed by the prosecution counsel, Usman Rabiu. When the case was called, Uche apologized to the court for his absence on the last date, claiming to be out of the country and noting that he returned earlier and headed straight to the court. He also apologized on behalf of his client, who he said is a senior advocate and has the highest regards for the court. Still on politics, less than 48 hours after the official defection of the former governor of Kano State, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, from the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, to the African Democratic Congress, ADC, the party has raised alarm over planned protests on Thursday against the David Mark-led group in support of the Nafiu Bala's faction of the opposition party. A statement by the spokesperson, Bolaji Abdullahi, alleged that the purported plot is by agents of the ruling APC government to mount pressure on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, into taking illegal action to destabilize the party. Bolaji said after the Nafiu Bala's faction several meetings with INEC hit brick wall, the group now changed tactics by using paid fake members posturing as aggrieved ADC supporters to stage the protests in Abuja, allegedly sponsored by a particularly notorious minister to give oxygen to a case already suffocating in the courts under the weight of its own illegality. The spokesperson said the protesters would carry placards with different inscriptions, and putting pressure on the INEC chairman for magical upgrade and to recognize Nafiu Bala, an individual who resigned his position and was subsequently expelled from the ADC to the position of the national chairman. A coalition of civil society organizations has begun discussions with the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, ahead of the 2027 general elections, aimed at scrutinizing candidates' manifestos and developing plans. The initiative, led by the Civil Society Organization on Community Advancement and Humanitarian Empowerment Initiative, seeks to evaluate candidates at all levels on key issues, including sustainable development, climate action, and financing. The report.
Speaking in Abuja at the inauguration of the National Committee for the Civil Society Organizations Summit 2026, the group's leader, Kunle Yusuf, said civil society groups are expanding their role beyond the election observation to directly engaging candidates and empowering voters to make informed decisions.
Our mandate is simple: to hold the government accountable, to promote justice, equity, and fairness, and of course, to promote good governance.
Yusuf and the committee members also revealed that civil society groups will work with INEC on voter education, advocacy, and organizing debates for candidates across all tiers of government.
For the first time, civil society organizations will come together to support INEC on voters education, advocacy, organize a debate from national level to local government level. We want to know our candidate. We want to know what is your capacity in governance, what is your integrity, what is your relationship with your people, And on this note, Nigerians will be able to know what is the credibility and acceptance of XYZ before you become a candidate. And as a matter of fact, this is a platform that will give Nigerians an open floor for a general discussion.
Food security is a very key aspect of this particular event. So it's going to be a major. The issue of climate change also is tied to food security because with climate change, there's reduction in production. So we want to enhance the governance of the country by pushing for those aspects of governance that will affect everybody.
The 2026 summit is expected to unite thousands of organizations across Nigeria to strengthen grassroots development and ensure better governance. Idimachi Ikechukwu, RayPower News, Abuja.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arrested an Abuja-based house agent, Adamu, over an alleged property fraud involving 288 million naira. The suspect was apprehended by operatives of the EFCC's Ilori Zonal Directorate following a petition by a complainant, Tanko Yawale. The anti-graft agency disclosed this in a post on his official social media handle, where he stated that Adamu allegedly collected the sum under the pretext of facilitating the purchase of a property located at number 31 Halil Selassie Street, Asokoro, Abuja. However, after receiving the payment, she reportedly failed to provide valid ownership documents and became unresponsive, raising suspicion. The EFCC says investigations are ongoing. Meanwhile, two suspects, 22-year-old Abubakar Musa and 25-year-old Muhammad Gali, are in the Niger State Police net over attempted kidnapping and cattle rustling. Confirming the arrest, the spokesman of the police, Superintendent Wasiu Abiodu, said the incident occurred on the 7th of March as Musa was arrested through an interception where he conspired with one Shaba and one other person presently at large and planned to kidnap 4 persons in Ladigi to get 10 million naira ransom. During interrogation, the suspect, Musa, confessed that he identified the targeted persons and they were planning to execute their plan before his arrest. Abiodu added that the suspect is in custody, undergoing further investigation with a view to arresting other members of the syndicate. And now you are listening to the Metro News, reaching you live on RayPower 100.5 FM. More stories after the break. Please stay with us.
As the news drops, it breaks with us. Join us for news on the hour every hour. News desk at 12 noon, Metro News at 4 p.m. Enjoy infotainment, breaking and sports news at their best 24/7.
This is RayPower FM News.
Many thanks for staying with us. Now to the rest of the news. Explosions at a military ammunition store in Burundi's commercial capital killed 4 people, with a blast lasting several hours, according to comments from residents today. An army spokesman said the explosion, which reverberated across the city, sending plumes of smoke into the sky and prompting terrified residents to seek shelter, were caused by an electrical short circuit. In Bujumbura's Musaga neighborhood, residents said the blast had killed 2 people, one of them a young woman. Another man was killed 100 meters away at the church in Guskebuye neighborhood. And still on the foreign side, President Donald Trump says Iran's new regime president has asked for a ceasefire, which he would consider only when the Strait of Hormuz is opened. Trump says he is considering pulling out of NATO, according to an interview he gave to The Telegraph, after saying U.S. military action in Iran could end in 2 to 3 weeks. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Keir Starmer says UK will host a meeting with dozens of countries this week on the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian says Tehran has the necessary will to end the war, provided its enemies guarantee it will not flare up again.
And now, a business update from RayPower 100 FM.
Nigeria's economic expansion gained further momentum in March 2026, with the Composite Purchasing Managers Index recorded at 53.2 points. This is according to the Central Bank of Nigeria. The latest figure signals continued growth in aggregate economic activity for the 16th consecutive month. The data reflects sustained resilience across key sectors despite ongoing macroeconomic challenges. Out of the 36 subsectors surveyed, 31 recorded expansion, indicating broad-based improvements in business conditions and strengthening economic recoveries nationwide.
This is entertainment news on RayPower 100.5 FM.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment News on RayPower 100.5 FM. Actor and producer Lateef Adedimeji has expressed gratitude for his 5 nominations at the 2026 African Magic Viewers' Choice Awards, AMVCA, citing faith, hard work, and grace as key factors. His nominations include Best Lead Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Indigenous Film, and Best Makeup. Adedimeji acknowledged the recognition from African Magic, thanked his fans, and congratulated fellow nominees. Taylor Swift has surprised fans by releasing a new music video for her song Elizabeth Taylor, assembled from hours of footage of the late screen goddess. Swift does not appear in the video, instead compiling a supercut of scenes from Elizabeth Taylor's films, alongside archive clips and newsreels showing the actress being hounded by paparazzi. The clips include shots from films such as Cleopatra, Cats on a Hot Tin Roof, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and the cult classic Boom, in which Taylor plays a 6-time divorcee who is visited by the angel of death. And that's it on entertainment. I am Onyemeche Adele.
RayPower Sport.
And some sports news. Authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo have declared Wednesday a public holiday after the national football team qualified for the first World Cup in 52 years. The Leopards reached the finals on Tuesday when the Axel Twanzebe's extra-time goal gave them a 1-0 victory over Jamaica in the playoff. DR Congo's Ministry of Labor and Employment said that as a result of the historic victory, the nation could have the day off work to celebrate in unity, fervor, and national pride. Still on sports, Chelsea have announced the biggest pre-tax loss in Premier League history. The £262 million deficit for the 2024-2025 eclipses the £179.5 million lost by Manchester City in 2011. It comes despite Chelsea bringing in £490.9 million in revenue, which the club says is the second highest total in their history. In 2024, the Blues won the UEFA Conference League and Club World Cup and finished 4th in the Premier League.
RayPower weather.
The cloudy conditions across the central region will pave way for thunderstorms with light rains over Benue and Kogi State later in the day. And to end the news, here is our last line. An African proverb says, "A man's honor is like an egg. If he does not hold it properly, it falls and breaks." That's it for the Metro News as produced by Ehi Ankeli Ocheme. I am Kedonojo Okoleko. Join us at 6 p.m. for our next bulletin, Nigeria Today, and then we'll bring you news from across the nation. You can listen to us online on Radio Garden, online Radio Box, and tunein.com at RayPower 100.5 FM Abuja. Also, watch us live on YouTube at RayPower FM Abuja. Good evening.
Providing 360 degrees of information and entertainment. Reloaded for today's